Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom Leary. I am president of Luzerne County Community College, and I also serve as the chair of the board of directors of the Pennsylvania Commission for Community Colleges. Thank you for joining us at the Pennsylvania Commission for Community Colleges annual Lobby Day. The General Assembly has declared April to be Community College Month in Pennsylvania, and we stand here today to celebrate the many accomplishments of our community colleges. I am joined today by hundreds of community college students, faculty, and staff who have taken time out of their busy schedules to speak to their legislators today about their experiences at the community colleges, and thank you for your commitment to public higher education. Pennsylvania has 14 community colleges that serve students from all 67 counties in the Commonwealth. Our mission is to provide high-quality, affordable, and accessible higher education and workforce training in Pennsylvania. Community colleges play a central role in the Commonwealth's education and workforce development systems. Pennsylvania's community colleges are leaders not only in post-secondary education and workforce training, but also in providing a full range of educational opportunities to all Pennsylvanians. While the scope of the college's efforts is wide-ranging, higher education and workforce training are at the core of every community college initiative. If the Commonwealth is to sustain its economic recovery and attract new industries, it will need to invest in the institutions and the programs that provide highly skilled and trained employees to support these industries. In 2014 and 15, Pennsylvania community colleges enrolled nearly 314,000 students from all of Pennsylvania's 67 counties in academic, workforce, and non-credit programs. The colleges play a vital role for the students and the employers they serve. They build a bridge from K-12 education to college and careers and contribute to the Commonwealth's economic growth and global competitiveness. This year, the colleges have continued to serve the students, their communities, and the Commonwealth, despite challenging fiscal environments. State funding is an important component of the public support of Pennsylvania's community colleges. As funding from the state has been unpredictable and has failed to keep pace with inflation, and as some local sponsors reduce support in response to their own financial difficulties, the colleges have implemented comprehensive cost savings initiatives to meet this challenge. In spite of all of these challenges, all of our community colleges have endeavored to keep tuition as low as possible to preserve access to post-secondary education and training opportunities for all Pennsylvanians. We faced an unprecedented budget season this year, but together we've weathered the storm. The community colleges are so grateful for the increase in funding that we will ultimately receive. I'd like to thank the Governor and the General Assembly for demonstrating their commitment to Pennsylvania's community colleges. We have all gathered here today to advocate for increased funding for the community colleges in the upcoming 2016-2017 budget. We support the fiscal year 16-17 budget, which would provide a much-needed increase of more than $11.3 million in operating funding and $48.8 million in capital funding for community colleges. An increase in state support for community college operations will allow the colleges to make needed investments to ensure program quality and in alignment with current workforce needs and minimize tuition increases. Investing in Pennsylvania's community colleges will help expand programs that are essential to the Commonwealth's economic growth, including programs in the technology, healthcare, and natural gas industries. It will also maintain access to higher education and help keep higher education affordable for all Pennsylvanians. We hope that the legislature and the administration can work together to increase funding for Pennsylvania's community colleges in the upcoming budget. We will also hear from several of our elected officials who have taken time out of their busy schedules to show their support for community colleges. Let's thank them for their support of Pennsylvania's community colleges. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce our first speaker, Senator Bob Mensch, serving Berks, Bucks, and Montgomery counties, and is also the co-chair of the Community College Caucus. Senator?
Well, good morning. Thank you. Thanks. It's great to be here. I bring you greetings from the Pennsylvania Senate. My Senate co-chair, Senator Boscola, won't be here today, but you'll understand she's a Villanova grad. And she did travel back to school last night to watch the game with a lot of alumni, and hasn't made it back to Harrisburg yet today. But I'm sure we'll see her sometime. But what a great win for Pennsylvania, wasn't it? I mean, you know, yeah. Now, there are two co-chairs in the House as well. They'll be introduced in a little bit, but Jim Marshall and Jim Roebuck, who I always call the chairman, it's good to see them here as well. We have quite a commitment from the Pennsylvania Senate to community colleges, as demonstrated with the bicameral, bipartisan community college caucus that we have. Now, I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about Montgomery County Community College, because that's my home county. But he just announced that I have 3 counties. I'm kind of unique in that in each of those 3 counties, there's a community college. So in the Southeast, we have Berks, Bucks, and Montgomery that I do represent, and it's really exciting. I'm only here today to talk about Montgomery, but it's exciting to be able to tell you that each of these 3 community colleges are embarking on a lot of new investment and new training, and let me tell you a little bit about some of that. At Montgomery County, later this month, the college is going to open what they're calling this, and they never make easy names on any of this stuff, all right? But the Sustainability and Innovation Hub, and that'll be at the West Campus of Montgomery County in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, at the almost at the Berks County border in Montgomery County. A key feature of the hub is an aquaponics teaching laboratory. The facility also includes a hydroponics green wall. I need to learn more about that. An engineering lab for 3D printing, design technologies to support the college's engineering technology, and flexible innovation space that will be home to the college's new software developer academy starting in June. If this sounds not like the traditional community colleges, because community colleges are really moving into the next century with us and leading the way in academics in that area. Also, Montgomery County is the first community college in the Commonwealth to join what is called the Pennsylvania Space Grant Consortium. I read that when we think about space and grants in the state, we're talking about brown space. No, this is about NASA. NASA, and they've developed in coordination with Temple University, this program to help engineering program partners with regional high school students and teachers to expand STEM literacy. Again, very critical to success for students as they come out of high school. The college is also leading work in the Northeast Biomanufacturing Center Collaborative. See what I mean about names? The NBC Squared, as they call it. And they're doing that in part with the National Science Foundation. Now in the Southeast, we have a lot of biomanufacturing. And so it's critical that, or important rather, that Montgomery County be able to advantage themselves of the new jobs that are growing in that part of the state through biopharma. They're developing a work-skilled workforce in biomanufacturing. Pennsylvania is the hub, the Pennsylvania hub, and there are 5 states that are participating. Pennsylvania is one of the 5. Montgomery County Community College is leading the Pennsylvania effort, and of course that hub is headquartered at Montgomery County Community College, along with the Bucks County Community College. The college is also developing new curricula in cybersecurity, biotechnology, cloud computing, interactive media, sound recording, and one that intrigues me as a musician is music technology, and I definitely need to learn more about that. But it's my pleasure to be here today to say welcome to all of you. Thanks for coming out and telling us how important community college is to you, and to bring the greetings to these students for success in their lives, and hopefully, I know it's true, that they will get a great foundation to start their lives at their community colleges. So thank you very much.
Our next legislator to speak today is Representative Stan Saylor. He serves the citizens of the 94th Legislative District in York County and is chairman of the House Education Committee. Representative Saylor.
My good friend, the Senator Mensch, mentioned Montgomery County, so I have to mention the best community college in the whole state, in Harrisburg Area Community College. I mean, heck. Seriously, we are blessed in Pennsylvania with some of the best community colleges that you can find anywhere. And I say that in that, one of the things I think that we have missed in Harrisburg for a long, long time is that we have not valued in education our community colleges and the job they serve us by. You know, when I think about four-year degrees, and I went to a four-year college, didn't go to a community college, and I think about how it would have saved me some debt that I accumulated at the time and paid off later, but that so many of our four-year graduates come out of high school or come out of college with a $33,000 average debt. That's a huge burden on students coming out, trying to find jobs, and going to work here in Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, our graduates from our trade schools and our science and technology schools in Pennsylvania have very little problem finding good-paying jobs, and of course their debt is far, far below that level. The other thing is that the academic and workforce programs that our community colleges offer students here in Pennsylvania are a wide range, as the Senator talked about. They have diploma certificates, two-year degree programs, workforce training, and a state-of-the-art bachelor degree program in personal enrichment. You know, Pennsylvania's community colleges currently offer 1,381 programs. It's 62% of which are STEM programs as well, and 45% which are a high priority occupations identified by our Department of Labor and Industry here in Pennsylvania. You know, in 2015, the colleges also provided $11.3 million in customized job training programs for employers and trained more than 21,000 workers through WebNet here in Pennsylvania. That's an amazing program. Today, I hope that this is the start of a program that we finally recognize how important our community colleges are, not only to our students, but to us attracting companies to move into Pennsylvania and create jobs here. Without a trained workforce, which these colleges provide, we will not be able to attract people to move into Pennsylvania and, more importantly, keep jobs in Pennsylvania. I hope that the General Assembly this year will find ourselves very generous as we move forward to support our community colleges. We need to make sure that that job training that they provide is not going to be cut because of a lack of dollars, but rather that Pennsylvania moves forward into the 21st century and assists every student, every person that today already holds a job but wants to better himself or herself by going back to school, which is what these community colleges do. They offer not just students coming out of high school an opportunity, but they offer workers today who maybe is in a job that is coming to an end because it's no longer needed, or it's a job that they want to achieve that earns them more money for them to take home and support their families. We need to understand as legislators and in the governor's office today that these community colleges truly are the future of a good, working Pennsylvania citizens. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. Representative James Roebuck of Philadelphia not only is the Democratic chair of the House Education Committee, but also is a member of the Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency Board of Directors. And he's been a member of the Board of Trustees of the Community College of Philadelphia since 1993. He also is co-chair of the Community College Caucus. Please welcome Representative Roebuck to the podium.
Good morning. It's indeed an honor to stand here today and talk about community colleges. And as has just been noted, I've been a member of the board at Community College of Philadelphia, which, despite what my good colleague Representative Saylor says, is the best community college in the state of Pennsylvania. It's been my honor and the privilege to serve on that board for a number of years, and I've gotten to know community colleges very well through that experience. Pennsylvania community colleges provide accessible, high-quality, affordable education to and promote workforce development for hundreds of thousands of people in the state of Pennsylvania. And what is most important is that community colleges work. They provide students with the foundation that they need to improve their work skills, to strengthen their education, to move forward, to reach the goals they have in life. And so they are valuable not only to those individuals that they educate, they are valuable to every person in Pennsylvania. Those of us in the legislature must continue to fight for community colleges, and I personally want to give you my commitment that I will work as hard as I can to ensure that we provide the necessary funding so that community colleges can not only do what they do now, but they can continue to grow, to build upon the success that they have created. Together, we can make Pennsylvania a greater state. Together, we can provide all those who want the opportunity for a good education that opportunity. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Representative Jim Marshall of Beaver County. He's co-chair of the Community College Caucus. Representative?
Good morning. Thank you very much for being here today in support of the community colleges. Now, I have a great deal of respect for both chairmen that spoke before me, but I know the best are in the West. Beaver County and Butler County community colleges are definitely the top community colleges in Pennsylvania, and we have great programs there, specialty programs like process technology and aviation that are about jobs in Pennsylvania. And there are so many opportunities. I met with students just this morning from diverse areas of the state, but primarily the Western Pennsylvania students that are going for nursing, higher education, engineering, and certainly aviation. I applaud them for making the great choice to be in community colleges, both for its affordability, but also the diversity of programs that they have. I'm glad to stand in front of this group of the best students in Pennsylvania and glad to stand with them every day. Thank you.
Senator Andy Dinniman represents the citizens of the 19th District in Chester County. He is minority chairman of the Senate Education Committee. Senator?
Well, hello, everyone. Excuse my voice. Actually, my wife said it's the best thing that's happened in years. But I'm here on behalf of the Education Committee and Senator Boscola, who, was a Villanova fan and was up there. And so I'm suspicious why she's not here this morning. But she asked me to extend greetings to you. And they won, right? That was an exciting end of the game, wasn't it? But listen, here's what I want to say. I'm a professor by occupation. And there are two ways that life today is different than at any time in human history. And one of the ways is we are the first generation that has ever overcome the barriers of time and place, right? You don't have to be in the same place at the same time to get the job done. That's revolutionary. And the second way is the rapidity of change. Never has a generation experienced the rate of change that we do today. So what does that have to do with community colleges? It has everything to do with community colleges, because community colleges are agile. They can respond to change as it takes place, because community colleges prepare people for this new world through utilizing the virtual space as well as physical space. So if we want jobs in Pennsylvania, if we want to have an economy that prospers, if we want to be world class, then we need each and every community college, and we need to support the students of those colleges. For too long, my friends, we've divided it between high school, community college, four-year college, graduate school. Education shouldn't be divided that way. It's one continuum. And an essential part of that continuum is the community college, and it's the most vital part in this moment of time, because it's the most agile that can deal with the two ways that our life today is different than any other time. So you certainly have my support, and we're going to make sure that we have the total support. I know Senator Mensch, and I, and Senator Bosco, we're all going to work together, because community colleges are important. We're going to do it, right, and get that funding. Thank you so much.
Now it is time to hear a real-life story from a student. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Pennsylvania's New Century Scholar for 2016, Mazie Ciccone, a student at Butler County Community College, who will share with us what her community college education has meant to her.
Good morning, everyone. I never thought I'd be able to say that I was following up behind senators and representatives. I'm truly honored to be here today. My name is Mazie Ciccone, and I'm a New Century Scholar and an All-American Scholarship recipient. Thank you. The miracle of what's happened and the astonishment of what has happened in my life still plays and lingers in my mind here a month after reading just one email. A few weeks ago, my friend and I were talking in the car, and something he said just grabbed my attention. 1 year ago, I never thought I would be here. And I know I've heard multiple inspirational variations of that very same statement, yet the profoundness of what that meant in my own life didn't manifest itself until that particular moment. Telling you where I was my first year at Butler County Community College would look very similar to where I am here and now, but rather than attempting to communicate to you where I was, let me show you who I wasn't. As a student at Butler Senior High School, I had everything going for me. I was graduating in the top 10% of my class in line to receive the President's Scholarship at BC3. I was graduating with honors. But more than that, I had teachers who would do anything for me. And as I graduated, I realized I was afraid of college, and 18 years old or not, I wasn't ready. I'd heard so many impersonal stories of auditorium-sized classrooms with teachers who never knew your name, much less that you were there. And I heard stories of classes with only 2 test grades. I was the oldest of 4 children, and my parents could not afford college. Despite my academic successes, I was not confident. When I entered my 8 a.m. algebra class on the first day of school, 2014, I was not a teacher or an editor, a mentor or a poet. I wasn't sure if I was ready to make real the educational or career dreams for which I longed. I wasn't sure if I was ready to leave the security of high school behind for the future 2 years I had chosen. One thing I was sure about was the major I had declared in my application, English. At this same point in my life, I realized that well-meaning adults were going to stop telling me to shoot for the stars and pull out statistics, but I did not let that turn me. It turns out that decision led into a series of other choices that brought me to where I am today, and I am fiercely proud to call myself a student at BC3. In my first semester on campus, I published my work into our college's annual literary magazine, Facets, and became noticed by the upcoming editor, who then asked me to become the college's very first student editor. This moved into a passion for the art that I have not been able to tame since. Moreover, my solid GPA and work ethic at that time became recognized, and I was asked to specialize in English at the tutoring program at BC3. There, I became one of the few peer tutors to work as a tutor, and it was there that I learned that I truly loved my field, and I truly loved to teach. At Butler County Community College, you get exactly what you put into the experience. I've connected, I've learned, and I've succeeded. I've reveled in the intimate classrooms and benefited from professors whose dedication exceeded beyond 3 mere hours a week. I've learned the technicalities of editing, the beauty of poetry, the prestige in learning, and the dignity in teaching. Most people view community college as a means to an end, a place to come and go for prerequisites before you can transfer and the real adventure begins. However, I found the exact opposite to be true. With each step of initiative, you are then offered another. Combining my school and extracurricular activities with my weekly involvement in the Civil Air Patrol, the official auxiliary of the U.S. Air Force, where I am now a deputy commander of cadets and finance officer after nearly 7 years of service, wasn't easy. There were lots of long days, not enough sleep ever. But it was all worth it, because one day I woke up and I realized I was the Pennsylvania captain of the All-American Phi Theta Kappa team and the first New Century Scholar of my school. My heart sincerely overflows, because that small Butler girl who had no idea how to get through 1 year ago is now here, not on a platform in front of the Capitol, but in a place where hope is alive. So in closing, all I can say is thank you. Thank you to my God who pulled me out of a hopeless state and set me in a high place, to my parents who always encouraged me and taught me and never stopped loving me, to my true friends who sat with me while I practiced speech and bought me Chinese to celebrate, because that's always important. Thank you to everyone who chose me. Thank you to my teachers. I hope that, like me, every community college student can find their way. Make some noise in community college.
Thank you very much. I would just like to acknowledge a few people who are with us today. Representative Mike Verb. Representative, thank you for being here. Representative Leslie Acosta and Representative Kevin Schreiber. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us today. Our next speaker represents Monroe and Northampton counties. It's my pleasure to introduce Senator Mario Scavello.
Good morning. Wasn't that student absolutely phenomenal? That's what community college is all about. And if you ever cut your hair, save it for me. You know, with all due respect to all the previous reps and senators that praised their community college, on behalf of Senator Boscola and myself, so we have two voting, we believe Northampton Community College is the finest community college of the 14 in the Commonwealth. And I'm going to specifically speak about some of the things at Northampton, but I'm going to tell you it involves all the community colleges. First of all, how many first-time generational family members that attend college, they start at community college, a good majority of them. It gives an opportunity. How many students that come out of high school that if it were not for the community college, it's all over? You know, there's nowhere to go. that go into the community college. It gives them that opportunity to pick up a trade or to continue their education. A couple of personal stories. I have a young lady, Christine Dolan Bush, that is my office manager. She was my, as a state rep, she was my top girl. She's chief of staff, and she runs my 3 offices now. She started at the community college, Northampton Community. She worked while she was going to school. She stretched it out into 3 years, paid her way, and then the 2 years at East Stroudsburg University. The day she graduated, she was debt-free. So when you hear that college is expensive, yes, when you hear that education is expensive, it can be done, and it can be done without borrowing money. Stretch it out and do it. There's a perfect example in what she's doing today, working for me. Another young man that visited me, he's attending Northampton Community College, received 53 credits in Northampton Community College, and he came to visit me last week, and he's attending Pitt. He took 53 credits from Northampton, and now is at University of Pennsylvania. Think about that. Think about the money he saved. And I said, why? He says, my family doesn't have the dollars. I could never afford it 4 years at the University of Pittsburgh. So here he is. Those things do happen. And, you know, we just got to look for those opportunities. I truly believe in the community college system. I know we have at least another 5% for you coming next year, and we'll continue to fight for it. It's the best investment that we can make as legislators is in education. And we can't just stop at K through 12. It has to continue. Thank you. So again, on behalf of Senator Boscola, because let me tell you, she's in seventh heaven. She had her shirt on yesterday, Villanova, and she knew she wouldn't be here today. And Villanova, by the way, canceled classes today, so you could imagine. But thank you, God bless, and to the students out there, I applaud all of you.
Representative Dawkins was also able to join us. Thank you for being here. Our final speaker, Estella Tizay. Ms. Tizay is a business litigation and land use partner in the Philadelphia office of Archer and Greiner, PC, with a practice concentrating in regulatory compliance and ethics. Ms. Tizay has served as the Secretary of the Board of Trustees at the Community College of Philadelphia, Philadelphia's largest public institution of higher education. She has served in that position since 2012. I apologize. Stella?
Here I am.
Here you are.
Thank you.
It's in 1912. I didn't mean that.
Feels that way. Good morning, everyone. I think it quite an honor to serve as a closer for all these distinguished legislators. And I think one thing we can conclude from all these remarks is that Pennsylvania has the best community colleges in the country. Thank you. And the best students. Imagine a city where skilled, educated talent flows through a rich tapestry of neighborhoods. Imagine residents who collaborate on problem solving on their toughest economic issues. Children growing up with hope because public schools excel and their community supports lifelong learning. This is my vision for Philadelphia, and the institution that is best positioned to achieve that dream is Community College of Philadelphia, where I serve as the secretary. Community colleges all across Pennsylvania offer the infrastructure for prosperity and civic engagement, whether they are located in eastern, western, or central Pennsylvania. We are meeting the needs and demands of the knowledge community, government agencies, law firms, everything. We are essential to bridge the knowledge deficit or talent deficit, as recent survey of U.S. companies found that 30% of the companies were not unable to fulfill positions for 6 months. All of us here understand that the importance of community colleges in preparing students for transfer, workforce readiness, and professional engagement. That is not the only reason we assembled here in Harrisburg today. Yes, we need more dollars, of course, to support student success, develop training for business, and for highly skilled, educated graduates. But the importance of community colleges is linked to our imagination, our unique ability to see an equitable and prosperous future for all of us. Ultimately, the success of a college is measured in part by the journeys and destinations of students and graduates. Last year, a young mother of 3 named Aminata C. graduated from CUNY College of Philadelphia. When Aminata first enrolled in the college, she started taking developmental studies. She limited her classes to afternoons because she had to homeschool her child. But when she came to us, she was motivated and already ready, quite ready, to succeed. When Aminata's developmental studies instructor asked her what she wanted to do for the long run, she said, well, I want to go to the University of Pennsylvania. Without missing a beat, the instructor replied, when you're ready to apply to Penn, I'll write you a recommendation. 2 years later, that developmental studies instructor wrote that recommendation, and Aminata, a straight-A student, was accepted by the University of Pennsylvania along with 3 students from the college's class of 2015. Aminata is certainly just completing her first full year at Penn. America needs to help talented and motivated individuals such as Aminata and everyone here to develop to their full potential and graduate if it is to compete for jobs currently being created for our workforce by our companies. This includes 2-year degrees and certificate programs that have real value in the workforce. It needs affordable colleges that can provide seamless transfer paths to quality universities, including the Ivy League, the Big Ten schools like my alma mater, Penn State, and Villanova, where Peter's will be going next year. I think we should all clap for that. Yay. In the next 10 years, more than 6 out of 10 jobs will require more than a high school diploma. Community colleges are ready to partner with employers to create tailored training programs to meet economic needs in areas such as law, health, information technology, biotechnology, and advanced manufacturing. Thanks to each and every one of you for coming to Lobby Day and taking full advantage of the opportunities to speak with our legislators, to thank them for all the support they've given to the community colleges. And working together, we can help legislators visualize the future. We can visualize a Pennsylvania which realizes its full potential. We can show them that Pennsylvania residents are truly our greatest assets, and addressing the skills and knowledge gap right now is Pennsylvania's most pressing need. So thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of all of our trustees from the 14 community colleges and my colleagues, the presidents of the community colleges, we thank you very much for your advocacy and support. But most importantly, thank you to all the students who have joined us today. Thank you very much. That concludes our press conference. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.